Michigan Out of Doors Online is brought to you in part by want to win a $500 Jay's gift card, a fly fishing trip in northern Michigan, a Lake Michigan charter boat trip, a walleye jigging trip on the Saginaw River? Well, join the Michigan United Conservation Clubs this summer as they continue to fight for fish, and 4 lucky winners will get a chance to get out fishing and support conservation. By Tri-County Logging. Experienced in sustainable forestry practices, Tri-County Logging can help you manage your property by keeping your woods healthy and generate income. Serving southern and mid-Michigan for nearly 50 years, TriCountyLogging.com.
For over 30 years, Vanguard Outdoors has made the gear that turns a regular hunt into another fine day of field. We know that a good shooting stick or a nice pair of binoculars can make or break your day. Our design teams include serious hunters who work hard to bring you the best sporting optics, shooting sticks, tripods, bags, and more. We are Vanguard Outdoors.
Hello everyone, welcome to Michigan Out of Doors. I'm Jenny Silik and we've got a brand new show lined up for you this week. We're going to kick it off on the Grand River. Jordan will take us out for a day of fishing on the Grand, chasing after those giant flathead catfish. You won't want to miss that story. And Jimmy's got a couple of other interesting items lined up for us this week.
Well, that's right, Jenny. We do have a couple more stories on this week's show. This past weekend, I was able to get to the town of Everett for the Trapper and Predator Callers Convention. You won't want to miss that. Lots of fun there visiting with those folks. And I was able to get out on the water recently with the folks from MUCC, the Michigan United Conservation Clubs. We're going to visit with them and see what they are all about and some of the new folks that they have working there. Lots of variety on this week's show. You stay tuned. I'm Jimmy Gretzinger, and it's time for Michigan Out of Doors.
From the first spring rains to the soft summer breeze, dancing on the pine forest floor, the autumn colors catch your eyes. Here come the crystal winter skies. It's Michigan, Michigan out of doors.
What a beautiful day in the woods.
Someday our children all will see this is their finest legacy, the wonder and the love of Michigan. As the wind comes whispering through the trees, the sweet smell of nature's in the air. From the Great Lakes to the quiet stream, shining like a sportsman's dream, it's a love of Michigan we all share.
Michigan Out of Doors is presented by Country Smokehouse, a sportsman's meat processor and Michigan destination since 1988. Offers a variety of homemade smoked meats and Michigan-made products in-store and online. The Country Smokehouse features an outdoor barbecue and bar. Details at countrysmokehouse.com.
By G5 Outdoors, makers of the Quest and Prime bows, manufactured and designed in Memphis, Michigan. G5 offers a line of archery bows, broadheads, and accessories. On the web at g5outdoors.com.
This moment brought to you by DTE's Clean Vision.
We kick off this week's show in the central part of the state, where I was able to tag along with a couple of friends chasing big catfish on the Grand River.
So today we're on the Grand River and we're targeting catfish. We're going to try to find some flatheads today, maybe a few channels. We're targeting areas of heavy cover, so thick log jams, stuff with some good structure underwater. A lot of these fish are just coming off the spawn, especially the flatheads, so they're starting to feed well again. Most of the time, especially during daytime hours, they're spending their time in heavy cover. But I use a little bit different strategy. A lot of people will set more rods than I will. I'm only doing 4 rods today, and I'm gonna spot hop a lot. I'm gonna cover water as fast as I can. Typically, if I find an active fish, it's gonna bite within the first 15 minutes, so that's about as long as I'll spend in the spot. At nighttime, those fish are around, spread out, hunting on the flats and stuff like that, so you can sit in one spot and wait for the fish to come to you, but during the daytime, I'm going to them.
The goal for this trip was not just to catch catfish, but to target big catfish. And after jumping around to a few different spots, we finally had our first bite, followed very quickly by our second bite.
I'll net mine and then I'll net yours. I think yours is a flathead.
Yep.
Not real big, but mine's coming up.
Okay.
I'll just hold them. I'll just let them dog if you want to get yours out. Gee.
Might be bigger than you think.
He's playing possum on me.
2 in here.
Dog, stay out of that. Anchor rope too.
Yeah, right. Try to go forward, upstream
Yep.
with him. Nice flathead. Not a small one.
Why do you gotta
Oh,
reel
yeah.
backwards?
Tank.
Oh, hold up.
Got 2. Nice work, dude.
Heck yeah, dude.
That's a good one. Oh, you could eat that channel. That's a 30-pounder. 25 probably. It's a really good one.
Flat-headed.
Dude, I thought the fish were tangled because both rods went at exactly the same time. Here you go. Might flop on you once.
Yep. I'll hold them down.
Just had to show me up, right?
They're so cool though.
I love these fish so much. So underappreciated. All right, I'm on the 0 here.
36, 37.
37. That was my guess, right on.
Actually, almost 37 and a half if you want a bass fish measure it.
Great fish.
Both outside rods at the exact same time did the exact same bite and then just folded over. We kind of thought it was one fish that wrapped into both, but we grabbed them both just to make sure. And no, there's 2 separate fish. And
fish.
luckily,
Big
the inside
flathead.
fish, yeah, that
We're
one's
getting a
bobbing
bite
right
on
now
this
too.
one right now.
The big flathead should have gotten into all of our tackle, should have gotten into the back anchor rope, but just set that drag right down and corked her to the other side of the boat and landed both.
Nothing wrong with that.
I didn't think we were going to, but we did.
With one big flathead in the boat, I asked Brett to explain what he does differently when targeting bigger fish.
Bigger baits typically help. I kind of stay away from a lot of the crawlers and dough baits, things like that, at least for big flatheads. You'll catch a lot of channels on those. Stink baits, things like that, livers, those work really good for channels, but bigger bluegill or crappie or anything like that, live bait or cut bait, I typically end up with bigger fish. As far as areas to target them, I tend to do better in just those really dense log jams. I'm not necessarily looking for more depth. I've caught a lot of really big fish and water as shallow as 2 or 3 feet. It's just more the cover that I'm looking for. With my line set up, typically running braid for my main line. This is 65 pound, running that to a 3-way swivel. I run a 30-pound mono dropper to my weight, anywhere from 2 to 4 ounces, kind of depending on the flow of the river at the time. And then for my main leader, I'll run anywhere from 40 to 50, something heavier than what I have for that dropper. A lot of times, these fish will get wrapped up in the wood as they're fighting them, and I'd rather break off that dropper than break off the fish. So pretty often we'll reel in a fish and it'll get tangled in some wood and we'll get it free and we reel it in and that weight is gone. So I usually run anywhere from a 4 to an 8/0 octopus hook. Circle hooks work well too. Either one is good, just something with a good stiff wire. I like to snell knot it. It's not totally necessary, but I like it. It seems to hook the fish a little bit better with that knot.
After catching a few nice fish early, we had quite the dry spell, where we didn't get a bite for almost 3 hours. But as the sun started to set, the action picked up.
Great big channel. There we go, boys.
Nicely done. That's a big channel.
Right where he was supposed to be hooked.
Yep. That is a giant channel. Look at the head on that thing.
Oh, there's one. That's a flat.
Come on, get out of that wood. Might be a channel. I think it's a flathead though.
Get out of that wood.
Yeah, I think so. That's a strong fish. That one's got some serious weight. Either that or he's wrapped in some logs. Big flathead.
Is it?
Yeah. Giant. Giant.
We got all night.
Oh, it's giant.
Get behind you here.
Oh, it's giant.
Why'd you take the small net?
So that we could put the state record in a small net. Oh, the tank.
Oh my gosh, dude.
What?
I'm gonna have to try to get it head first.
You're good. Let's try this again. That is a giant. Easy. Not trying to break you off, buddy. We're gonna let you go.
Just want your picture.
Just want to show you off to some people. The strength of that thing is unbelievable. Very few fish in freshwater pull like that.
Oh my god.
It's all good. All good. That's all I can do just to lift him off the bottom. Here's your shot. Got him!
Let's go, boys. Let's go, son. Welcome to the boat.
Welcome to the boat. There is a 30-pounder. That's the one we're after. Look at the size of that boy. That's more like it. Just north of 40. Got him at about 41, 40 and a half.
Oh, do you want the scale?
34 and a half. Yep.
All right, we gotta get a bigger one now.
Touching 35. That's a good one. Look how wide that thing's head is. Over a foot across. We were working on retying a few things after that last fish. Turned over and just looked over just in time to watch that rod fold in half. Knew it was a flathead right away by the way it bit. Grabbed the rod, nothing but weight. Paddled him for a minute, got him back to the boat, got him out of the logs. Really nice fish. Super pumped for that one. Those don't come every day for sure.
Well, there's no better way to end a night of targeting big catfish than to land a giant flathead. We didn't have many bites on this trip, but the ones we did have were the right ones. Special thanks to Brett and Zach for inviting me out for a beautiful night of chasing catfish on the Grand River.
Well, this past weekend there was quite a party going on, pretty much right in the middle of the Lower Peninsula in the little town of Everett. The Michigan Trappers and Predator Callers Association was having their annual convention, and it was a lot of fun. This past weekend was the annual Trappers and Predator Callers Convention in Everett, and I was able to swing by on Saturday to take in the day and get a tour of all that was going on here at the fairgrounds.
There's everything you need here for trapping and predator calling. Trap and supply dealers, vendors, tailgaters, used equipment, new equipment, bait, lure, you name it, it's here. And I hope you'll see, take a walk around and you'll see what we have to offer here.
Now, how long has this been going on here, Joe?
We've been here in Everett for probably 15 years now. Before this, it was in Alma, at Ithaca. It's been in southern Michigan, but the vendors and the members seem to enjoy it here in Everett. They like it. as we all know, Michigan is, we can use our hand. Everett is centrally located, so it's easy to get to for, most of the residents of Michigan. Our attendance really goes by fur sales. If fur prices are high, our attendance are high. If fur prices are low, our attendance is a little bit lower. But people still come just because it's a fun event. And it's, like I said, it's a family-oriented event. There's a lot of family things going on today, on average, we have about a little over 1,000 people through the paid attendance through the gate every year. We've been as high as 1,400 or 1,500 through the gate when fur prices are high. 3 weeks ago, the National Trappers Convention was up in Escanaba, so folks that went there are still here today, so you can't get enough of this.
Lots of good seminars were going on while I was there, and as you can imagine, there was a lot of activities aimed at the kids as well. They had a dinner the night before with all the proceeds going for some great prizes for the youth.
10 sets of trapping equipment, a set of calling equipment, and to the parent of the lucky kid, a single-shot 22 and a 6.5 Creedmoor rifle.
Wow, that's all for the kids?
Yes, sir.
Good
and
deal.
It's all based on donations, either people donating equipment or donating to our cookout. All the money that's raised in donations from our cookout are used to help fund the raffle. Last night we raised $1,160.
That's awesome.
It is.
Well, good deal. There was a lot to see and lots of vendors with everything from traps to furs to duck decoys. You really never knew what was around the corner, and I really learned a lot.
See, in this area is our Hags bracket, which our Hags bracket attaches to the end of your trap chain. It's got different slots on the face of it. Those same slots are on the top. And then it's got different bends and holes and whatnot that provide a variety of functionality. So it's designed around these 3/8" fiberglass rods. And you simply put it on the rod. You can adjust it to the height you want vertically. And then we're going to use the end of the trap frame, put it in the slot, and that stabilizes your trap. And that allows you to set to the varying water height. Whether you're using top edge sets or you're setting muskrat huts or anything along that line, it allows you to adjust as needed. What we're showing here is if you don't have rods or you run into different situations, you can still use the bracket to stabilize your trap simply by screwing or wiring the bracket to an object. Here we've got it on the side of a rock. This could be where rats are climbing on and off, or mink. Same thing with this field tile. We just got a bracket wired to the bottom of it, which is a great mink set. Here we're just showing it on a log. This could be a water log, and this could be underwater, or it could be for marten.
I did learn a lot as I walked the fairgrounds with Joe, and one of the things I asked him was just where we are with the number of trappers here in the state.
But I checked for the last 2 years, in 2021 and 2022, more than 25,000 fur harvester licenses were sold in the state of Michigan. Now, is that all trappers or predator callers? I'm sure it's a mix. We have about 670 members in our association right now. In fact, the number will probably go up this weekend. People signing up to be members. There are a lot of members. There are a lot of trappers in the state who are not members of our association, and they're still, and that's okay. They're still harvesting the animals. One thing I will say, and I hope you can squeak this in somewhere, is there's this one sentence that says the cruelest thing we can do to our wildlife is failure to manage it, and that's so true. Whether it's fur-bearing animals or deer or fish or anything. So we harvest only the surplus animals, the animals that Mother Nature is going to take care of herself. But we utilize as much of the animals as we can, and we're not bloodthirsty savages. We educate people. We're all about conservation. Our goal is to protect and promote trapping in the state of Michigan and conservation, and using these renewable resources we have here, in our woods and waters. And it's still ongoing. I'm a trapper ed instructor for the state of Michigan and for the DNR. I teach trapper ed. I've taught classes since 2009, since Michigan Trapper and Predator Callers and the DNR came out with the Trapper Education Program. So, and there's still a lot of us today that teach these classes. So.
Before I headed out, I had to stop by the possum toss and see what this was all about. And no possums were harmed in the World Championship Possum Toss. What a fun weekend with some great people. Our trappers and predator callers are an important part of our outdoor landscape here in Michigan. When groups start the assault on our outdoor pursuits, well, they will not start on deer hunting and bass fishing. So let's all support each other and see the value in all of our outdoor pastimes that make up this grand old state. Thanks to all that made this weekend in Everett so special, and good luck to all who are hitting the woods this winter and fall here in Michigan's Out of Doors. Well, we are pretty fortunate as Michiganders to have some great conservation organizations here in our state. One of those groups is the folks from MUCC, or the Michigan United Conservation Clubs. I was recently able to spend some time with some of their staff on the water and learn more about their organization and what they're doing to promote and preserve our outdoor heritage here in our great state. Picking out a winner there?
We're trying. We're going to try some different colors, see if this looks tasty or not. Because the first one we picked didn't look tasty.
The Manistee River is pretty unique, especially down below Tippy. You have a really good smallmouth fishery right now. We get a good trout. We have a great salmon steelhead fishery. We get sturgeon in this river. There's perch. You know, it's really a very diverse fishery depending on what time of year it is. And actually the world record brown was caught down below here before it was broke not too long ago. So big water, but it has a lot of species in it to fish for.
And tell me what you do for MUCC.
I am our Director of Communications and Marketing, so I handle a lot of our public-facing communications, editor of our magazine, Michigan Out of Doors. Mostly my job is to just kind of make sure folks know who we are, what we do, why we do it, and try to grow and make our conservation circle bigger here in Michigan.
Yeah, and if people aren't familiar with MUCC, what are some of the stuff that you guys that you do, and what are you working on these days?
Yeah, so we're most known for our policy. We've worked on things like the bottle bill, like the trust fund. We also have a pretty robust habitat program called On the Ground. That's in partnership with the DNR, where we do a lot of volunteer stewardship on public land, making sure folks are connected with their habitat, making sure they understand the value of hunters, anglers on that land. We have a youth camp we've run since 1946. We've put about 59,000 kids through that. Kids are able to get hunter safety certified. They learn about trapping, conservation, water ecology. A lot of them, it's their first chance to shoot a rifle, archery, all that kind of stuff. Our education programs also include Tracks Magazine, which is a 4th through 8th grade reader, and it focuses on a Michigan species throughout the school year, and it's really meant to help kids kind of connect to Michigan animals, the habitats they live in, and how humans interact with those species. So it's a real life kind of example of conservation, our natural resources, and teachers use it throughout the state to help kind of develop their curriculum. It's something, we were founded in the 1930s when many of the kind of conservation organizations of modern day started to come about, and we've changed a lot and evolved since then, but our mission has remained the same: to unite citizens to conserve, protect, and enhance Michigan's natural resources and outdoor heritage.
Some of you may know that I used to work for MUCC years ago, so it's fun for me to see the new face of MUCC and all the good work that they are doing around the state, with some new blood like Steve here on the front of the boat.
Yeah, MUCC is important because we're making sure that we have all the natural resources, public land, access, wild game, and we're not speciated. So any adventure or anything that you chase or anything that you're passionate about, we care about it too. We also give the everyday outdoors man and woman a voice in Lansing, so no matter if you're in Iron Mountain or you're in St. Ignace or Kalamazoo or Detroit, you have a voice through MUCC in Lansing to deal with natural resource issues that you're concerned about. So whether that's with deer or wolves or any kind of fisheries or upland birds or whatever it is, making sure we have access to public land, MUCC is the go-to force in Lansing to make sure that our natural resources and outdoor heritage are protected. Yeah, so this summer we're running our Fight for Fish sweepstakes, and it's our way to really give back and bring focus to the great fisheries that Michigan has and how we're at the center of the Great Lakes and all the rivers and streams and lakes and everything we have here to access in Michigan is crucially important to protect. It takes a lot of work to protect it. So we're doing our Fight for Fish campaign, our Fight for Fish sweepstakes, where you can buy entries into the sweepstakes and you can win one of 4 great prizes. You can do a walleye jigging trip on the Saginaw River. We have a Lake Michigan fishing charter, a Northern Michigan fly fishing, and also a $500 Jay's gift card to spend as well. So whether you're an angler or just an outdoors man or woman, you could win that $500 gift card. But if you're really into the water and love casting lines, we've got some really great prizes to win. And all along the way, you're helping MUCC protect our natural resources and getting involved when we fight for fish.
Well, today was a lot of fun. When Nick got a hold of me and asked if I wanted to float the Manistee with he and Steve, I jumped at the chance, and the fact that there was a fancy shore lunch involving steak along the river, well, that had nothing to do with it. We're pretty lucky here in Michigan to have so many great conservation organizations, and MUCC, well, they are right near the top. They're actually running a really cool sweepstakes right now. If you'd like to enter in with a donation of at least $35, you become an MUCC member and are entered in to win some great prizes. For more information, you can find all that you'd want to know at MUCC.org. Thanks to Steve and Nick for a great day right here in Michigan's Out of Doors.
Thanks for joining us this week for Michigan Out of Doors. Make sure you stick around in upcoming weeks. We've got some great things in store for you. We'll take you walleye fishing in the northern lower peninsula, out river fishing from canoes with a family, and then we'll set our sights on some of those early fall hunting seasons that are just around the corner. If you'd like to see where we are, where we're headed next, and some behind-the-scenes things about the show, you can always check us out online.
Well, that's right, Jenny. Online is a good way to kind of keep tabs on us. You can do that through our website, our different social media platforms, as well as YouTube. Make sure you are getting out and enjoying everything that our state has to offer. And as always, if we don't see you in the woods or on the water, hopefully we'll see you right back here next week on your PBS station.
Michigan Out of Doors is presented by.
Do you dream of somewhere bigger than your backyard? You can get there with Greenstone. Whether you want to hunt, fish, hike, or just watch the sunset, we're ready to help you own your place in the great outdoors. To learn more, visit greenstonefcs.com.
By Alta Equipment Company, providing sales, rentals, service, and parts because uptime matters. From earth moving to landscaping and light construction, Alta offers over 50 brands across 7 Michigan locations to serve you. More information online or 844-GO-2-ALTA.
When I want to far away, a dream stays with me night and day. It's the road that leads to my home state. I am a Michigan man. Changing seasons paint the scene like rainbow trout in a hidden stream. The white-tailed deer in the tall pine trees. I am a Michigan man.